Climate change is the defining issue of our time. We are at a critical moment where the decisions we make today will shape the world for future generations. The evidence is indisputable. Global temperatures are rising, ice sheets are shrinking, and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent. Scientists have warned that we have a narrow window to act if we are to avoid the worst impacts of climate change. The most vulnerable communities, who have contributed the least to climate change, are already experiencing its devastating effects. The urgency cannot be overstated. It is a global challenge that requires a global response. Together, we can build a more sustainable future. One of the primary causes of climate change is the burning of fossil fuels. Coal, oil, and natural gas have powered our economies for centuries. The combustion of these fuels releases carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. Deforestation is another significant contributor. When forests are cleared, carbon is released back into the atmosphere. Industrial activities also play a major role. Addressing these causes is essential to limit global temperature rise. Climate change profoundly affects ecosystems and human life. Rising temperatures cause ice caps to melt, leading to sea level rise. Coastal communities face increased flooding and erosion. Coral reefs are dying due to ocean warming and acidification. Wildlife migration disrupts ecological balances. Human health is at risk from extreme weather events. Crop yields decline, leading to food insecurity. Section 4. The role of the United Nations. The United Nations has been at the forefront of global efforts to combat climate change. One of the most significant initiatives is the Paris Agreement, adopted in 2015. This landmark accord brings together nearly 200 countries in a common cause to combat climate change. The agreement aims to limit global temperature rise to well below 2 degrees Celsius, above pre-industrial levels, with efforts to limit the increase to 1.5 degrees. Countries are required to set national targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and to update these targets regularly. The UNFCCC facilitates negotiations, supports climate action, and monitors progress. Without this collective effort, we would struggle to make the necessary progress in addressing climate change. Section 5. Global mitigation and adaptation strategies. To combat climate change, both mitigation and adaptation strategies are essential. Mitigation involves reducing or preventing the emission of greenhouse gases. One key approach is the transition to renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. Reforestation and afforestation are also important. Planting trees can help absorb CO2 from the atmosphere, while preserving existing forests prevents further emissions. Sustainable agricultural practices can reduce emissions from farming and improve soil health. Adaptation strategies are equally crucial. These involve adjusting our societies and economies to minimize the damage caused by climate change. By implementing these strategies, we can reduce the risks associated with climate change and build a more resilient world. Section 6. Individual and collective actions. Individual actions can make a significant difference in combating climate change. Simple steps like reducing energy consumption, using public transportation, and recycling can lower our carbon footprint. However, individual efforts alone are not enough. Collective actions at the community, national, and global levels are essential. Advocacy and participation in climate movements can drive policy changes and increase awareness. Businesses and governments also have a crucial role to play. The fight against climate change requires a united effort. Every action counts, and everyone has a role to play. Section 7. Conclusion. A call to action. The challenge of climate change is immense, but it is not insurmountable. We have the knowledge, tools, and resources to address this crisis. What we need now is the commitment and determination to act. We must embrace the spirit of global cooperation and solidarity. The path to a sustainable future requires bold leadership, innovative solutions, and active participation from all sectors of society. Together, we can turn the tide on climate change and ensure a thriving planet for future generations. Join the movement, take action. Together, we can make a difference.